Hello, boys and girls. I hope everybody's doing well. So we are at the last chapters of Geronimo. I'm really excited to read the ending for you. So here we go. The Scarlet Silk Cape. It was already morning, but it felt like midnight. Being haunted by ghosts was exhausting. I hadn't slept one wink. I decided to try to catch a quick mouse nap. I'd skip Curly Paw's room, though. Brr. Instead, I climbed up the stairs leading to the highest tower. Soon I found myself in a red room. The walls were red. The floor was red. Even the ceiling was red. I fell onto the bed. I was so tired. Before my fur even hit the red velvet pillow, I was fast asleep. A few minutes later, I woke up to a strange buzzing sound. I opened my eyes. Shadows danced on the high ceiling. Cheese niblets! They were bat shadows. Oh, how I wished I was home. Suddenly, one of the shadows drifted over to the bed. It was much, much bigger than the others. The buzzing whirred in my ear. Just then, the shadow unfolded its wings. I saw a figure cloaked in a scarlet silk cape. It was a vampire cat. It smiled at me, showing every one of its pointed teeth. A vampire! I shrieked. In a flash, it disappeared. The door flew open. It was Benjamin. Uncle, Uncle, what's the matter? He cried, facing to my side. I heard a buzzing sound and I saw bat shadows on the ceiling, I stammered. Then a vampire appeared at the foot of my bed. Benjamin twirled his whiskers. A buzzing sound. Shadows on the ceiling? A vampire? He said, looking puzzled. Then he glanced out the window. Look, Uncle, the sun is already up, he pointed out. I thought vampires slept during the day and came out at night. I wasn't an expert on vampires. I tried not to read too many spooky books. They were just so scary. But I did know Benjamin was right. Nighttime was a vampire's party hour. Daytime was for sleeping. Benjamin discovered an extension cord lying on the floor. He held it up for me to see. Once again, we both agreed something very odd was going on. Benjamin scribbled away on his pad. An extension cord. Pranky Paws. I was still sleepy, but it didn't look like I'd be catching any Z's until I got home. Then I'd curled up in my comfy bed and sleep for hours, maybe even days. I would just take a vacation from work. Lately, I'd been working my paws to the bone. A little time off might be just what I needed. Oh, how I wish I was home. I sighed. Then I headed downstairs with Benjamin. And that's when I saw it. A small tag lay crumpled on the stairs. I picked it up and read it out loud. Pranky Paws, super scary, Halloween, magic tricks, and practical jokes. My mouth dropped open. Uncle, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Benjamin whispered. I nodded. Yes, my dear nephew, I murmured. Someone has been playing tricks on us. Benjamin took out his pad. On it he had drawn a map of Canny Cat Castle. Maybe we can find out more from this map, he began. We put our heads together and studied the castle. Canny Cat Castle. Cat statues, entrance hall, ballroom, terrace, turret, garden, vegetable garden, conservatory, stairs, kitchen, turret, library, stairs on upper floor, cellar, Slice Paw Canny Cat's room, Slice Paw's laboratory, Curly Paw Canny Cat's room, Long Paw Canny Cat's room, Pinky Paw Canny Cat's room. The mystery is solved. It didn't take long for Benjamin and me to figure everything out. We called Thea and Trap. Then we all gathered in the library. Benjamin and I finally solved this mystery, I announced. Thea looked puzzled. Trap just smirked. What mystery? The mystery of your missing brain cells? He chuckled. I ignored him. We'll see who has the last laugh, I thought. I picked up Benjamin's pad and flipped through it. I was so proud of my nephew. His notes were like a regular detective's. I felt like I was reading the journal of that famous TV detective Snoop Rat Smith. Let's go over everything that happened from the beginning, he said. I said. I was starting to feel like a detective myself. I paced back and forth for effect. I twirled my whiskers and peered at everyone through the magnifying glass. Thea rolled her eyes. But for once, no one said a word, except me. I read the list of points Benjamin and I had gone over the best Snoop Rat Smith imitation. Number 1. I discover a rat skeleton in the kitchen cupboard. When Thea shows up, the skeleton disappears. But that's when Benjamin notices the mysterious nail. Why is there a nail in the cupboard? To hang the skeleton on, of course. 2. The ghost appears for the first time in the library behind a bookshelf. Whenever the ghost appears and disappears, there's a creaky noise. That's because there is a secret passageway behind the shelf. Number 3. I noticed the eyes of Slice Paw's portrait seem to be following me. It turns out the painting has 2 holes where the eyes should be. Someone has been watching me. Number 4. The ghost appears again in Slice Paw's lab. Once again, it pops up from behind a bookshelf. Another secret passageway. Number 5. The ghost appears once more in the library. Benjamin notices some marks on the floor. What kind of ghost can leave a mark? Not a real one. Number 6. The ghost reappears. But this time, Benjamin notices a trace of flour on the floor. Number 7. A mummy appears in the cellar. Benjamin finds a piece of toilet paper. What's the easiest way to dress up as a mummy? Wrap yourself in toilet paper. A witch appears in Curly Paw's room. What kind of witch can see her own reflection in the mirror? Not a real one. A talking owl pays me a visit, but I hear a motor when it flies off. Then Benjamin discovers a painted chicken feather. What kind of owl has a motor and painted feathers? A mechanical one. Number 10. Bat shadows appear and then a vampire. But what is the strange buzzing sound? And why does Benjamin discover an extension cord? Because nothing is real. They are just images projected on the wall. Plus every mouse knows real vampires go into hiding when the sun rises. Number 11. I discover a strange tag on the stairs. It says, Pranky Paws, Super Scary, Halloween, Magic Tricks and Practical Jokes. I put down Benjamin's pad. So you see, I finished, someone has been playing tricks on us. They want us to think this castle is haunted. Now we just have to find out who and why. What's your story? By now, Trap was on his paws. What, he squeaked. Are you telling me that someone has been playing games with us? Messing with our mouse minds? Pulling the wool over our beady little eyes? He was furious. What kind of low-down, slimy sewer rat would do something so nasty? He shrieked. Wait till I get my paws on him. I'll tear out his whiskers one by one. Thea was just as fierce. I'll tie his tail in knots, she squeaked. Just then, I heard a noise from behind the bookshelf. I leaped toward the shelf, faster than a cat in a rat race. You won't get away this time, I cried. But when I saw who was making the noise, my jaw hit the ground. No, this time I wasn't frightened. I wasn't even scared. I was just surprised. That's because there wasn't a mouse behind the bookshelf. There was a teeny, tiny cat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Aren't all cats scary? To mice? Well, not this little guy. He was not much older than Benjamin, and he looked like he was about to faint. He was clearly terrified of us. In a flash, Trap snatched him by the tail. Well, then, what's your story, Fluffy Fur? He sneered. What's with the magic tricks? The young cat coughed. He was so frightened I could hear his teeth chattering. You see, he began with a stammer. Pawkin and Pot. At last we learned the little cat's story. It turns out his name was Pawkin Cannycat. He lived in the castle with his sister. Paet. They were the only descendants of the Canny Cat clan. Since we're on our own, life hasn't been easy, Pocken explained. The castle is big and needs lots of repairs, but we don't have the money to fix them. Lots of slimy sales cats have tried to get us to sell the castle, but we don't want to sell our family home. It means everything to us. I had a smile. For a cat so young, Pocken had a great sense of family pride. I am sorry I played those spooky tricks on you, the cat went on. We've been keeping unwanted visitors away by pretending this place was haunted. I put my paw on Pocken's shoulder. Who would have thought such a timid cat could have given me such a big scare? I guess it's true what they say. You can't judge a book by its cover. Unless, of course, it's a book by Geronimo Stilton. All of my books have wonderful covers, and as you can see, they are very exciting to read. I told Pocken not to worry. I would be glad to help him and his sister. After all, I, Geronimo Stilton, am a mouse of honor. I always defend the weak and those in need of help. Suddenly, Thea danced over to Pocken. I have a great idea, she announced. Why don't you turn your castle into a mauseum theme park? The visitors can learn about the history of the Canny Cat family, and you can perform your scary Halloween tricks. You can have a ghost pop out of the library, a mummy in the cellar, a witch in the bedroom. The little cat grinned from ear to ear. I love it, he purred. Let me introduce you to my sister. With that, he pulled out a book from the shelf behind him. Suddenly, the whole bookcase began to move. A small female cat stepped out from the secret passageway. She looked just like Pocken. Good morning. My name is Paet Canny Cat, she meowed politely. Benjamin smiled at the tiny cat. Would you show me around the castle? He asked. Paet smiled back. I'd love to, she purred. Soon Paet and Benjamin were happily chatting away. I watched as they headed down the hall, holding paws, and grinned. Who says a cat and a mouse can't be friends? Halloween, a year later. A year has gone by since the crazy Halloween night. Canny Cat Castle had been completely repaired. Every day there is a line of visitors clamoring to get in. They come to see the beautiful portraits, the antique furniture, the precious jewelry, but most of all, they come to see Pocken's spooky Halloween magic tricks. Duke Slicebot's Canny Cat ghost, the mummy, the witch, and the vampire. Pocken and Paet Canny Cat are two happy cats, which remind me, they have become Benjamin's best friends. As I was saying, today is October 31st. Yes, it's Halloween. My family and I are on our way to Canny Cat Castle. We're going to spend the night. It has become a Stilton family tradition. Benjamin is super excited. He has been telling me about all of the new scary tricks Pockins has created. Glow-in-the-dark skeletons, headless ghosts, werecats. It all sounds terribly frightening. Of course, I wouldn't tell anyone I am afraid. They would just call me a scaredy mouse, which really isn't very nice, but I will tell you a little secret. It is true. I hate ghosts and goblins and haunted houses and things that go squeak in the night. Yes, I admit it. I am a scaredy mouse. A perfectly terrified, teeth-chattering, nail-biting scaredy mouse. Oh, how I wish I was home. There you have it, boys and girls. Cat and mouse